Forgot to turn on my lamp. I cannot start until my lamp is on. Hello everybody and welcome back. So today I'm going to be trying out a couple new things that have come my way, and I also have a look in mind that I was cooking up late at night, and I hope it works out. So before we get into it, I'd love for you to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. So I have a new and exciting primer to try out today. This is the new Milk Primer. It's called the PORE Eclipse Mattifying Primer. So we all know about the Hydro Grip, which I personally love a lot, so I have high hopes for this one. I got it yesterday and I tried it on the back of my hand, and it really blurred out the look of my hand, so I'm interested to see what it looks like on my face. So I'm going to be trying this out with a foundation I know fully through and love, so we can see how it differentiates. I don't know much about this one because they haven't launched it yet. It's launching the day this video is going out. It looks like the Caudalie Vino Pure mattifying fluid. It has kind of like a matte, not grainy, but like just like that matte finish, kind of velvety. Yeah, it totally is matting out my SPF. Wow. Yeah, it feels very velvety. It doesn't feel silicone-y, like it feels almost dry going on. It's very interesting. I mean, it definitely worked and it feels so interesting on my skin. It doesn't feel like a silicone primer, it just feels dry. I love the packaging. When I first received it, I was like, oh my god, Darth Vader or Kylo Ren. Doesn't it look like the dark side? I freaking love it. So now for foundation, I have to pick one that matches my skin tone currently since I've been self-tanning, so it's up to these two. So I have the Dior Skin Glow, which is kind of funny to go in with a matte primer than a glowy thing. Might be good for the hotter months though, for us oily people. Or I have the LYS Triple Fix Foundation and MN3 and 2 in this one. I think I forgot to mention the shade. Let's see which one matches me more. That's LYS, which looks a little bit dark, but I mean, I guess it matches my neck. My face is a little lighter. Ooh, and that's too light. I'm just gonna go in with LYS. This is a Fenty Beauty 115 brush. It like sounds different now that I'm applying foundation over this primer. It sounds like I'm applying it over like a velvet couch or something. It's like whee, whee. So this is one of the glowiest foundations I have, but you can see it's like kind of not so glowy anymore. Still glowy, but not its usual amount. So I will say this isn't like the most pore diffusing or like pore blurring primer. It's more of a mattifying and makeup locking one. So you can see my skin still looks nice, but it's not like blurred, super blurred at all, which I'm not mad at. It just looks like good. So I'm going to see how it prolongs the longevity of this foundation on me today and see how quickly my natural oils seep through it. So now for my concealer, I've been actually using this one for over a month and a half now. I've just been kind of shy to show it on my channel for some reason, just because it's so freaking expensive and it's so good that I don't know, I just feel kind of shy in a way. This is the Clé de Peau concealer. I use the shade 3 Beige, and it's just one of the best concealers I've ever tried. It kind of reminds me of a stick version of the Lancôme All Over concealer, or like a finer, more matte version of the NARS Soft Matte concealer pot thing, you know, but just in stick version. It's so good, so effective, and it's so easy to use. I've been using this actually kind of as my foundation a little bit, because a little tiny amount of this goes a long way. It stretches, but it has amazing potent coverage. I'm going to be using it as my under eye concealer. It's going to be a little bit brightening for me, but this one is also incredible at spot correcting because it does have that matte finish, so it does stop any of the light reflecting off of it, but it still looks just like skin. I have been using either a finger to blend it out or a little brush. This is the Moda Pro Accentuate brush. I'm just going to use that today. Just do little stippling motions or little circles to diffuse it out. I'll do one side with a brush and then the other with a finger. A brush is just kind of quicker because you can just have a little nap and just boop 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 and it'll blend really nicely. Yeah, so whenever I've been in the mood to not wear a foundation, I've just been taking a little bit on my finger and just spot correcting the areas where I want to conceal. And I thought this would be a nice finish with the more matte kind of look I've got going on. It's pricey as heck, but thankfully a tiny amount goes a long way. Like I feel like I'm gonna have this for quite a long time. I've been using it like crazy and I've only made like a little dent in it. And now I'm going to try to set it with this Wet n Wild clarifying finishing powder. I'm going to be doing my normal routine, taking a little nice fluffy brush with a little bit of this. I don't even really have to set this concealer, which is incredible because it has that kind of matte finish to it. Ooh, this powder's nice. It's adding a bit more blur, but it's not doing anything. That's cool. Like it's not changing my concealer or anything. Okay. And while I'm here, I'm just gonna set my forehead with it a little bit. Maybe I'll do like an all matte skin once I get through the other products. It's so different for me, but I don't mind it. I feel like my skin looks really nice matte. It's such a different thing for me. I don't have a new bronzer yet, but I feel the new bronzer's coming soon. It's always around this time where there's an influx of bronzer launches. But anyways, I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty one in the shade Happy Soul. And ooh, oh my god, I haven't dropped the lid. I've been loving this. And I feel like it'll be a good finish for this look since it's more velvety and more matte. Although this is a cream, it does have like a soft powdery finish. I'm gonna try blending it out with this Dear Dahlia brush. It doesn't have a name or anything, but I feel like it might be a good option. I always put some on my chin because my chin always gets tanned. I'm not sure if I'm loving this brush for this job. It's a little bit too floopy. I'll just put whatever's left on my brush on the bridge of my nose, just because I hit everywhere else. Now for my highlighter, I wanted to use my little BURT'S highlighters again. I'm going to be mixing the shades Starlight and Golden Hour. So now for blush, I wanted to give the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer blushes another shot. So I originally purchased the shade, oh no, Sun Drenched. And I've had an okay experience with it. I find that it has a tendency to just roll off my face, like it pills up kind of and just sweeps away. So I want to see if the other shades do that as well. They did send me a couple of the other colors. So I'm going to try either the shade Provence or Coastline. Let's give them a swatch. That's Coastline. That looks really pretty. It's like a sunburnt kind of shade. I think I actually prefer that one over Sun Drenched. And Provence is kind of like a soft pink. I kind of feel like this one will suit what I'm going to be doing for the eyes a little bit more so than this one, but that still is a cute color. I'm going to go in with a tiny amount. Oh, I'm going to attempt to go in with a tiny amount of Coastline. So I'm going to take that same brush I did my bronzer with and scrub a lot of it off in the palm of my hand. That just made me want to watch Spider-Man again. Reminds me of Doc Ock. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Is that what he says? Okay, this one so far is not rolling off my face. Okay, that's cute. I like that color. So it's now brow intermission time, so please enjoy. So for my eyeballs, Melt Cosmetics came out with 2 new palettes. Well, one is a re-release, which is this one right here, Gemini, which is actually one of my all-time favorite palettes to have ever existed. I had to get rid of my old one because it was just so well loved, and I dropped it so many times and I tried to fix the shadows so many times that they just were not performing properly anymore, so I had to dispose of it. But I was never able to repurchase it because it was gone, but I'm so happy it's back because this is like art to me. But alongside of this one, they came out with the Gemini 2, which has some more berry tones and rose tones. I have a couple palettes that look like this already. I'm not a huge fan of like pinky eyeshadows on me. I have a couple already. So I think I'm going to gift this one to someone else before I like dip my fingers into it. I'm not as drawn to that one if we're comparing it to the original Gemini. So I'm going to first attempt to do a soft cut crease. I haven't done that in a long time, but I have some other things up my sleeve to add in later. I feel like it's gonna be a cool, fun and creative look. So I'm first gonna take a little bit of this setting powder from Wet n Wild to set my brow area, just because I want this to be very soft and smooth. It's just like a quick, easy way to ensure for a nice diffused blend. So I'm gonna start off with a little bit of Fire OG, and I want the most concentration of that to be on the outer bit. Then I'm going to start slowly dragging my brush over here to add some definition. I'm actually gonna bring a little bit on the outer corner as well. I just want the inner. Oh, that looks kind of cool. That looks really cool too. If I were to do like a little negative space right here. That wasn't the original plan though. I'm just gonna stick to what I had originally imagined. I'm taking a touch of Mochi and I'm going to hit just the edges of that to incorporate that color a little bit, because this is the color I'm going to set my inner corner lid with. So I just wanted things to be a little bit more cohesive. I'm going to take some of my eye primer. I don't know if this is going to work out, but I'm going to attempt it. Taking the About Face eye primer just to slightly clean up the edge. I don't like using concealer. It tends to make my eyeshadows look too wet. And I wanted this to be a soft look. I don't want it to be so sharp. Now I'm going to be taking that Mochi color with this little Smith 253. Okay, so far not turning out the way I wanted, but I think it's going to be okay in the end. I'm just gonna go with the flow. I can't judge it right now. You gotta trust the process. Right now I feel like a little alligator. And I took this little shark tooth brush from Tweezerman. They don't have this brush anymore, but it's called the Lime Glider. And I'm just gonna make a little bit more of a line right here to make that Mochi shade pop a bit more. So now I'm going to create a double liner using some of this Melt Onyx eyeliner, and then I'm going to layer one of the DANESSA MYRICKS shifting eyeliners on top. I think it's gonna look cool. And these go on top of this eyeliner really nicely since it has such a nice matte finish. But now before I apply that eyeliner, I'm just gonna take a little bit of that Fire OG shade and I'm gonna kind of fade this eyeliner off with that. So I'm going to be taking the shade Emerald and I'm layering it on top of a black liner just to really exaggerate the shift. Here, I'll swatch it by itself. On its own, it looks really beautiful, but on top of a black, it just accentuates it even more. Well, maybe not. Maybe not this one, but that's usually the case. I think I used the wrong one. I feel like those greens are kind of clashing. I'm going to attempt to apply Lemon Quartz on top. I feel like it's gonna look a lot better. It's this one right here. Let's do the bottom one first, because that might be interesting. That's much better. And then I saw this. This is the Melt Waterline pencil in the shade Olive. I think I'm gonna put it in the waterline and in the negative space. I'm just gonna repeat it on this eye and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the eyeshadow on. I did notice that this Fire OG shade is kind of like texture enhancing or something, and it kind of sticks to one spot. It's a little bit more difficult than I remember it being to work with. Like it kind of just sticks and it doesn't go anywhere. So that's annoying me a little bit. But now for mascara, before I move on to mascara, I did put lemon quartz in the inner corners. I wanted it to be a little bit more brightening. I just grabbed a random highlighter. This one's the Makeup by Mario one. I just wanted to lighten it up in there. I feel like it needs it. Since it's a bit more grungy colored, I feel like it's kind of cool. I really love the DANESSA MYRICKS color shifting eyeliners. I think they're really fun to work with. But for my mascara, I have the new LANCôME mascara. This one's really cool. It comes in a glass bottle, which is interesting, so you can recycle it when you're done with it. This up top here, the cap, is plastic, but the rest of it is glass. And the wand itself mimics the bottle. So it's like dual-ended. So here it's just like flat rectangular, and then on its side it's wavy. And this is a waxless formula, so you have to like pump it to activate the formula. So you have to do it 8 times. I think that's why they called it the 8. That was more than 8, but I just kind of was having fun with it. And it's a really nice one. It's super volumizing and lengthening. And it feels interesting because it's a balm, but it doesn't smudge, which I was kind of expecting it to. I've tried it out quite a few times now. They sent it to me early so I could try it out. It's an interesting one because as you're adding more and more product to get like a super voluminous look, it doesn't crisp up or dry up because it is a balm. But once you like leave it alone for a couple minutes, it does dry. See, look how good that side looks. Like what? And also, it's quite easy to remove at the end of the day. It just kind of slips off. I wanted a lot of mascara, so I'm really working it on. I have this one that I forgot I had. It's the MAC Extended Play GIGABLACK Lash. It has a really nice thin wand. I want to try it for my lower lashes. I got this in PORE a while ago and I had just thrown it into my collection without ever trying it. I saw the opportunity and I took it. And here are the eyes all finished. What do you guys think? I think it's very different and fun. I'd like to try this eye look and shape and everything with the double liner and like the soft cut crease with a different color story. But I'm really happy I added the mustard shade in the waterline. I feel like it tied the whole thing together. And when you shift your head, it's so fun to catch the shift of the double liners. I like it. And before moving on to lips, I realized I never set the center of my face with this powder, so I'm going to take the opportunity to do that. Yeah, this powder seems nice. I think I do prefer the e.l.f. one that I've been using a bit more, but this one's still a nice mattifying powder. I could get down with this time to time for sure. And for my lips, I'm going to go for like a softer look. I'm gonna line my lips with MAC Oak. And I'm going to be trying out one of these Merit lip oils, finally. I've never tried one of these before. I'm using the shade Naturel. Cute. Okay, I like that. That feels really nice and comfortable. Why haven't I tried one of these? Crazy. Wow. Okay, I really like that color. That is a lip combo. Yep. Okay, and here is the finished final look. I think it turned out really well in the end. I was feeling a little iffy there, but that feeling is gone. I think this turned out really cool. And the blush and the lip combo is super cute. I think I'm going to repeat this quite a bit. But for the couple things that I tried out today, like the matte primer, I think this is actually quite effective because this LYS foundation is very, very dewy and it totally mattified it out. Even though it did have a little bit of a glow, it's nothing like the LYS on its own. So I think this is a fun one and I can't wait to see what it looks like with other things, so I'll keep you updated for sure. I also really liked this powder. I think it has a lot of potential. It looked good under my eyes and it looked good on my face. It's not as blurring as some of my other favorite powders or the e.l.f. one I was trying out, but it still feels like a good quality drugstore product. I feel really nice and set. Like my skin feels nice and dry, and I feel like it's going to stay put. So I feel like sandwiching these two products, my skin is going to stay flawless all day. The concealer, I love this concealer. I've been using it so much. It's really good. If you guys are inclined in trying it out, I don't think you'd be disappointed, but the price is ridiculously high. I feel kind of sad that I've been attached to this one because repurchasing this in the future is going to hurt. don't know, I feel still shy and weird about it, but I really like the product. And then for the mascara, it's really fantastic. I mean, it's voluminizing, it's lengthening, and I really like how comfortable and lightweight it feels on my lashes for the amount of volume and effect you get out of it. I think it's a really cool formula that you can layer and layer and layer, and it's not going to get really, really chunky. Yeah, it's interesting, and I love how it has an easy removal at the end of the day. But I think that's all the little updates I wanted to give you on the newer things I tried out today. So that's going to be all from me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure to like this video. It helped me a lot. And I'll make sure to link all of the products I used in today's video in the description down below as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!